In this video, I'm going to give you a guaranteed way to elevate your emotional state. Why is this important? Well, I was stuck in victim survival mode for far too long, and having the ability and inner resources to elevate your emotional state gives you energy, gives you perseverance and patience and the grit to get through whatever situation you find yourself in. And I'm not saying I have the hardest life on the planet, but I have had my fair share of struggles and challenging situations I had to figure out and grow through. So for this technique, all you need to know is that you're going to be here tomorrow, meaning you're going to be alive tomorrow. As long as you plan on being here tomorrow, this situation or this technique will work for you. There's no reason to end your life early, so just try this technique instead. So it goes like this. Imagine if you didn't feel gratitude for everything that's in your life, it would disappear tomorrow. Feel gratitude for everything in your life, or it would be gone tomorrow. So let's start with what you already have. We can get stuck in this victim, like, everything's wrong, everything's not going well. Instead, we can focus on the solution and what is going well and what we are appreciating and what we're grateful for. So you have eyes. You are watching this video. Become grateful for your eyes. And you can make a list, write down all these things, and then put your gratitude feeling towards these things. There's nothing stopping you from doing this. No matter what situation, you could be stuck in prison, you can be working the worst job, you can be in debt, all these things. This will elevate your mood and give you the motivation to face your challenges head on. So you have ears. You're listening to this video right now. Write that down. I'm grateful for my ears. I can hear. I want to be able to hear tomorrow. You have a phone or a computer. Write that down. I'm grateful that I have a phone or a computer, or I have access to a phone or a computer. I have a body, even if it's sick and broken. I have a body. I can move and maneuver around this 3D reality we find ourselves in. Write that down. Maybe you have a house, maybe you have a tent, whatever you have. Maybe you live in a cave. I'm grateful for my cave. It gives me shelter. You have access to food. You have a job. Even if you hate your job, you have a job that making you money so that you can feed yourself, so that you can figure out your challenges. See how this begins to change your perspective on this life? Instead of getting all caught up in this is good, this is bad, I'm never going to figure this out because X, Y, and Z reason, we shift our awareness into what is working, what we are grateful for, what solutions are actually in front of us. There are so many opportunities flying by us every day that we just ignore or aren't available for because of our state. We aren't in the position that we should be in to be able to grab hold of these opportunities. And sometimes it can take a long time. It can take longer than you want it to, but with this gratitude, you can stick with it. You can go through it. One of my rock bottom challenging moments in my life, I was living in a city. I didn't know anybody, didn't have any friends there. Luckily I got a job pretty early on in this. I was living in Denver at the time, outside of Denver. So I was working a job all day, living in my car. I had a '04 Honda Civic, a little beater. Moved out there, working this job all day, and I got a gym membership, so I would work all day, shower, and then have to find somewhere to sleep. Sometimes cops would wake me up at 2 in the morning and tell me I couldn't sleep here, and I have to go find somewhere else to go, get some sleep so I can go back to this job that was making, I don't know what it was, $10, $15 an hour, not much money. But I had to do this for, I think it was probably a month of my life. I was just living in this unknown certainty. And if I got in my head like, oh, this isn't gonna work out, what am I doing here? I should just go back home, move back to where I come from, like give up on this dream of living in Colorado. Instead, I was more focused on what a great adventure this was. I'm grateful that I have a job. I'm grateful I have a place to shower. Like, what is really important? What do we really need? We need food. We need to be able to clean ourselves, and we need some type of place to sleep, some kind of shelter. That's really all we need. The rest of this, needing all this material stuff, all this validation, all this extra things, it's all extra. You don't need it to become the creator of your reality and create and go after your dreams, go after what lights you up, what excites you. So I already had gratitude, even though most people would think that is an insane situation to find yourselves in, to have nobody around, no friends, to have this barely a job, barely making money, and no place to sleep. Like, I don't know, most people probably wouldn't put themselves in that situation. And eventually it turned out that I got a place to stay for free for a while, and I eventually found friends, I found my community, I found all these different amazing things unfolded. But it all started with this very uncomfortable moment. So if you find yourself in an uncomfortable moment where you don't have friends, you don't have people you can talk to, if you're watching videos like this, at least you're moving in the direction of growth. You're starting to learn about your inner resources, these inner tools that you get a whole tool belt of tools. And if you keep watching this channel, I'm just gonna keep on giving you more and more tools, more and more resources you can use to become the creator, to live your dreams. It is worth going for. It's worth all the pain and the struggle. All that pain and struggle, it's not gonna last. And if you can find the gratitude of the little things to push you to go for the next step, the next day, like, it's all possible for you. No matter where you are in the world, it's all possible for you. Synchronicities will unfold and opportunities will present themselves that you couldn't imagine. And I say this because I know who I am. I know what I am in my core, and I know you are the same. That's where I get all of this confidence and knowing, because I've been through it, and I've shed all these layers of false identification and got to my soul. I figured out who my soul is. Even though it's still a mystery, it's still this unknown thing. I have tasted it, and I've known. When you can tap into that and find that resource, that is the ultimate resource. You can look at death in the face and laugh. You can overcome any situation, any circumstance. You can use it all to grow. It's all grist for the mill of your evolution. This is the soul garden. This is Earth's soul garden. You're here to grow. You're here to be challenged. And it will get better. I love you.